Scratch-made comfort with every bite. From our hand-tossed pizzas to classic pasta dishes, it's the perfect place to gather your family or just treat yourself. Visit Pomodoro's.com for menus and hours. Your table's waiting.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
Good morning and welcome to Heart Mooresville, your small town radio show with a big heart. I'm your host, Christine Patterson. Good morning, co-host Don Smyle.
Good morning, Christine. How are you today?
I'm good.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. The weather's gorgeous.
Yes, and the rain yesterday got rid of all that nasty pollen, at least for a day or two.
Right.
Because it was out of control.
It'll be back. I have a feeling it'll be back.
It's already back. So, yeah, but it's spring is sprung. My yard is loving it. I love the weather on the weekends.
Yeah.
Happy to say that this past weekend, I was not attacked by an angry otter.
Oh, you didn't make any otters mad this weekend.
So,
well, that's good.
That was a good thing. So if you listened last week, you heard the otter story. We're not going to rehash that. But
no, I know that was an emotional thing for you. So no, we don't want to rehash the angry otter.
It was an interesting encounter.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Well, it was cute and cuddly though.
Not
it didn't
really,
look cute and cuddly at that moment, but in general,
In
otters
general,
are.
they're portrayed as cute and cuddly, but don't get too close to them if they have babies around. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
so,
except Don, he
like
makes
most
them
mothers.
mad.
So.
Well, we have two special guests in the studio this morning. We're super excited to talk to Executive Director of Visit Mooresville, Randy DuTeau. Good morning.
Good morning.
And Marketing Manager of Visit Mooresville, Kaitlyn Grekoff. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Well, thank you both for joining us. We're going to get into all things Visit Mooresville and learn all about what your organization does and how you're helping to improve quality life for residents and bring visitors to the area. Before we do, we like to keep our listeners informed with what's going on for our In the News segment.
And I can tell you this first one every other day from my wife and I.
Oh, yeah.
So
oh, yeah.
Please enlighten us to this rather ridiculous scam that's going around.
Well, I have a clip, so we're going to actually start up with a clip.
All right. Roll that beautiful footage.
And today, North Carolina Attorney General Jeff Jackson was in Asheville. He spoke with our Maya Payton about how storm survivors can protect themselves from disaster-related scams and fraud.
The Attorney General wanting to protect people from a scam. He spoke with me one-on-one here at the Biltmore Village, a place that was once lively with a lot of people, but it's not like that now. The streets are quiet. It represents, though, what the people here in Western North Carolina are going through as they work to rebuild.
If you haven't gotten this yet, you're about to, and just know it's a scam.
He's talking about a toll texting scam. It's a text with a link, and clicking it can expose victims to financial fraud, allowing scammers access to bank accounts and personal data. And you don't have to be a toll user. These scammers are targeting everyone.
The language used in the text is more and more convincing, and now they've got the website that actually looks like the official website. It's not if you look very closely.
Attorney General Jeff Jackson says phones are ringing off the hook at the toll service North Carolina Quick Pass.
Yeah, they told me they got 20,000 phone calls yesterday.
Yeah. So the governor is talking about the toll lane text scan. So, and part of that clip was talking about specifically, targeting victims of Hurricane Helene in Western North Carolina. But this is not a Western North Carolina issue. It's not even just a North Carolina issue. There's been over 18 states that have dealt with just really aggressively, these text scams for tolls. So raise your hand at this table if you have received a toll lane text. I see production raising their hand too. It's really gotten out of hand. And these are not, highly educated people that are falling for these scams.
Well, the problem is that a lot of people use the toll lanes.
Right.
And so when I first got the text, first couple times, I was thinking to myself, have I ever done that? Because I don't have a pass.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm thinking, did I try to avoid the traffic one day and just hit the thing and didn't think about it? Because, they take your license and they send it to you in the mail. So I can see where people would question that. And
right.
specifically, if you have a pass, then you're like, oh, yeah, I need to pay that. So, but you have to stop and think. It's like, working for the town, the thing that we're told all the time is stop. and think before you click on anything
Yes.
link related, because you could fall victim to a scam.
Right.
And so it's unfortunate, but yes, we have all been inundated.
Yeah. So, and the thing I think that makes it a little bit worse is the website looks so real. I mean, there are like if you really look at both websites, obviously you can pick out the things, but it really does look like the NC Toll website, the Quick Pass website. So they've made it very realistic. But you can always tell the scam because it's always that threat that comes with it.
The
And
need to do something immediately
Right.
is the cue.
they're saying
Right.
that are going to get additional fees.
Are you going to revoke your license?
Right.
Right. Yeah.
And
yeah.
so the Turnpike Authority said you will never lose your license for unpaid tolls. So let me just put that out there. They will also never threaten legal action for an unpaid toll. So if you receive a text and it's threatening any sort of legal action, or you're going to lose your license if you don't pay this fine, that right there should be a red flag. It is not. It is a scam. It is not real. And even that threat of additional fees, or something bad's going to happen if you don't pay this right now, like that, you always know, like your red flag, your spidey senses should go up because it is not a real thing.
Yeah, the problem today is that everybody is in such a hurry, and we have a very short attention span. And so when we get something, we feel the need to click on react and whatever. And so again, you just have to just take a breath and think about it. And generally, if you do that, it becomes pretty apparent. Like you said, your spidey senses go
Yeah.
up, and you're like, okay, this is obviously a scam. And
Right.
so just protect yourself, people.
Yeah. And the, NC Quick Pass has received like 20,000 calls in one day. I mean, people asking, that shows right there how many people are receiving these texts.
The
and
unfortunate
they
part
don't know.
is, do the math against 20,000 calls in one day about how many people actually clicked on it.
Right.
All right. And how many people are being exposed.
Yes.
The numbers are pretty staggering.
It is.
So,
And it's sad because, obviously, I think a lot of people right now are, watching financially and don't have a lot of disposable income. Inflation is, we're all victims of that. And so we don't have $50 to spend on these toll scams. Like, it's crazy. But if you do receive a text and you would like to file a complaint, the Turnpike Authority said that you can go to www.ic3, so that's I as in igloo, C as in cat, and then the number 3.gov. And you can include your phone number and where the text originated, and then the website listed within the text, and take those steps to report it. And then they say delete the text after you do that. So be vigilant.
wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Text tolls. All right. So also want to share an exciting event coming up at Mitchell Community College. They are unveiling their student art show April 2nd at the Iredell Arts Council. It's April 2nd, 5:30 to 7 p.m., and that's at the Statesville location of the Arts Council. And it will be students that will feature an array of visual art and 3D works. And it's a great opportunity for people to come in and look at kind of the next generation of artists. That's 203 South Meeting Street in Statesville. And for more information, go to iredellartscouncil.org.
All right.
All right. Well, we're going to talk more with Visit
I'm feeling
Mooresville.
scammed. I'm feeling scammy right now. So,
Are you, yeah. You're still recovering from our conversation.
And the problem
Don't
is
click
that
the
even
link.
if you delete them and block them, you get it again.
I know.
Right?
All right.
We're on a rotating dial of some nature. So.
We'll be right back after the break.
We'll be right back with more Heart Mooresville on 105.9 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Well, returning to more typical early April weather for our Tuesday. Sunshine coming back, a dry day of weather, and temperatures a little bit cooler. Will only warm up into the low 70s for the afternoon. Staying dry with a few extra clouds for our Wednesday. Again, temperatures right around 70. We're going to warm things up a bit more as we go into the later part of the week, even approaching the mid-80s by Thursday and Friday afternoons. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Listen, save, enjoy. The WSIC app, available now in your app store.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Friday night is the season opener for the Live Under the Oaks outdoor concert series at Birkdale Village in Huntersville. Grab your friends, family, and your lawn chairs as weekly music returns to the plaza each Friday through October. Red Rocks will be on site for beverages, and the Birkdale restaurants will be open for your Friday night dinner. The Walter Family Band performance, powered by Waves Entertainment, kicks off at 6 p.m. Friday at Birkdale Village in Huntersville with the season premiere of Live Under the Oaks. The 500 Club in Statesville presents a weekend full of fun. On Friday, Members Happy Hour begins at 5 p.m. Also enjoy the day with Glow Golf Loop. Saturday night at midnight, enjoy a good old-fashioned drive-in movie. Call 704-872-9990 or visit the 500 Club online for more details and enjoy your weekend at the 500 Club in Statesville. The Auto Fair presented by Camping World is back at Charlotte Motor Speedway Thursday through Saturday. The show brings together the car community in a celebration of their shared passion for all things automotive. Don't miss the Heritage Invitational, where iconic cars from all eras are gathered for up-close viewing. Visit charlottemotorspeedway.com for Auto Fair tickets and more information. On Saturday, come celebrate the 5th year anniversary at Lost Worlds Brewing in Cornelius. A DJ and coffee will kick off the day at 9 a.m., while live music begins at 1 p.m. Enjoy drink specials, multiple food trucks, and free admission. We'll see you Saturday at Lost Worlds Brewing in Cornelius for their 5th year anniversary party. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
MerleFest 2025, presented by Window World, returns April 24th through the 27th in Wilkesboro, North Carolina. Hear the Avett Brothers, Bonnie Raitt, The Dead South, Watch House, Wyatt Floors, I'm With Her, Leftover Salmon, The Warren Treaty, The Steel Drivers, and many more. For tickets, visit merlefest.org.
Mooresville, how we feeling? Good. Welcome back to Heart Mooresville on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
All right, welcome back to Heart Mooresville here on WSIC, show number 62. Hard to believe.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are excited because we have a couple special guests here, Randy DuTeau, the Executive Director of Visit Mooresville, and Kaitlyn Grekoff, who is the Marketing Manager for Visit Mooresville. And we're going to dive into some of the things that they're getting involved in and some of the things they have coming up. Some pretty exciting events that they're hosting. I think there's something for everyone. And so, Randy, I guess tell us a little bit about, first of all, the mission of the CVB, just so we can educate the community about, what you guys are doing and how you're benefiting the community. And then let's talk about some of the events that you have coming up, because you've been here, over about a year now?
Yeah, about a year and 3 months.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So you obviously are having an impact in looking for ways to increase the presence of the CVB. So let's talk about first of all, what is the mission of the CVB?
The mission of the CVB really is to just drive visitation to the town of Mooresville. And, our organization, in tourism in general, it's always referred to as heads in beds. And that's how our organization, which is the Mooresville Travel and Tourism Authority, exist because of an occupancy tax that is collected by the town and then passed on to us. And then our job is to drive visitation. And ultimately, it's about driving sales tax, because the great thing about tourists is that they come to town, they visit, and then they leave, but that money that they leave behind in sales tax revenue, it helps pay for sidewalks and fire trucks and staff, et cetera. And it also keeps the homeowner's property taxes down as well. And so there are some significant benefits, not to mention, driving business and hotels, restaurants, and stores. And so basically that's our position. We drive visitation to the town.
Well, I think we can all say, the part about them leaving, Mooresville's experienced a lot of growth. And so it is nice. Of course, we want people to visit, but it is nice that, this tax can be generated, and these aren't people that are using our schools and, all of our infrastructure. So I think tourism is an important part of a community to drive that economic impact.
It really is. And also, too, there's a common saying that tourism is the first date of economic development. And, how many times has someone gone to a community to visit, and then, identified a potential place to move a business, or it became an opportunity to find new employment in a new location. That was the reason why I came to Mooresville, and it's the same with Kaitlyn as well. And we ain't leaving. So.
Yeah, yeah. Well, for those that aren't familiar, how does the CVB work to attract visitors, from out of town? I'm assuming marketing is probably a huge piece of that, and you have your marketing manager here today. So tell us a little bit about, campaigns or kind of what that work looks like.
Absolutely. So for tourism marketing, we focus on leisure travel. So that would be families coming in to visit either your family or other locals that live here, or to experience the lake and the downtown and the other great offerings that Mooresville has as a tourism product, to stay in the hotels, to eat at the local restaurants, all of that kind of good stuff. So we market online. We have visitmooresville.com where you can find everything that there is to do, eat, shop, see, all that kind of good stuff, as well as the social media campaigns and things like that. We also do partner with other kind of different advertising campaigns and things like that. But as far as leisure market traveling, that's where we're at. And then it's also bringing in tournaments and events and meetings.
Well, I've seen some of the videos that you've been posting on Visit Mooresville, and they portray Mooresville in a very good light. I love the giraffe walking. It's like,
Isn't that
do you
great?
take
Yeah.
that video?
I actually don't. We have some locals that are really talented that we can that allow us to partner and use their content. We also do create our own content as well, depending on. So what she's referring to as Lazy Five, they have a great. It's a drive-through zoo essentially, and then you can see so many amazing animals. But so it's a mix of our marketing and our content, as well as some other generously partnered with content creators.
I love that. I love and the snow that you captured just so beautifully in that video of the snow on Main Street.
That was amazing.
It really was
solid. But the event was solid too. I mean, that when you have good content to cover,
absolutely.
We feel kind of fortunate like that.
Well, I love it. So I guess, what do you feel like, I think this is the question that I think a lot of, DMOs or destination management organizations have to answer for themselves is, what makes Mooresville unique?
Wow. Where do you start? I think, one of the things that I was really happy about is when I moved to Mooresville last January, I had only been here one time before, and that was for a lacrosse tournament several years prior. And so I had a full calendar year to experience Mooresville. And, where do you start? Do you start with the downtown? Do you start with the racing community? Do you start with the lake? Do you start with all of the attractions that we have? And it's
all the wonderful parks and opportunities to get outside.
That's right. It's so much nature.
Yeah. I mean, it's remarkable, and so if we want to distill it down to tourism product, we have, dare I say, a superior product, and so from our standpoint, being the newbies here and having the opportunity, it's remarkable because we have so much to work with, and we don't have to limit ourselves to like the one good thing,
right?
Or maybe the two good things, because we have a bunch of good things.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I guess it's easier to sell a product that kind of sells itself, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I think also we've been helped by some national recognition. I know the article in Forbes magazine last year about the Motorsports Festival, where we inducted Roger Penske and Edsel Ford, to make that prestigious magazine and to get the accolades that we got. Certainly put a spotlight on, but also being named the fastest growing suburb in the United States recently. You start to put eyeballs on Mooresville from different locations. We already know about the amazing businesses that have relocated here for many of the reasons that you mentioned. And I certainly we've had guests on here, and we know people who have moved here because they visited a family member or they came here for an event or something, and they said, "Wow, we love this place. We have to come back." So I think overall, to your point, Mooresville is a great product, and when you have a great product, it makes it much easier to sell.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and I think, if I want to go beyond that, though, it's more than just the product. There's a legit vibe. And I think that there's just a legit decency, that just goes across the board. I've met, in the last year and months, probably 200 plus people. And, the negative experiences are virtually non-existent, and so, just having a good town and good assets is a great thing to have. But if you don't have a welcoming community, then, the best assets in the world really mean nothing. And that is, it's been remarkable. And, when, again, being the newbie, just have people that just welcomed me. And as I talk to other businesses, especially like a lot of the businesses that are downtown, a lot of those folks, they're new, and I say, well, why are you here? And they're like, it's a vibe. I got here and there was a cute downtown and there were great things to work with, but everybody was really decent, because, the greatest things in the world mean nothing if the people aren't great. And that's really ultimately what kept me here too, was the assets themselves are great, but, just the welcoming people have made the difference.
Yeah, I think it's that Southern hospitality, right? We definitely have that down to a science here in Mooresville, that small town feel. I agree, definitely a vibe. One of the things I wanted to ask you, because I think people sometimes don't, see Mooresville as a destination. A lot of us think of it, it's our hometown or it's our town that, that we live in, that we work in. But there is quite a bit of travel to Mooresville. So who is traveling here? I knew Kaitlyn mentioned leisure travel, people that are coming to like Lazy Five Ranch, but who do you feel like those top kind of 3 or 4 travelers are?
Wow. I mean, the leisure travel and a lot of that is revolves around the lake because a lot of folks do come here for the summer and spend a lot of time, renting Airbnbs and, just visiting the town. And so I think that there's that product. Sports tourism is another big thing for us. We have Mazeppa Park, the upgrades that are going on at Cornelius Road Park right now, having facilities like the Trackhouse Motorplex. Having those types of facilities lends themselves very well to sports tourism. And sports tourism is another one of those elements that is super great because the folks come into town, they leave behind their revenue and then they go. And when you can have these events that highlight, international facilities like the Motorplex or, like an event that we have coming up in a couple of weeks at the skateboard park, it's an opportunity to shine on our attractions, but also at the same time use these attractions, to generate revenue for the town.
Yeah, the thing that's, important for Parks and Recreation is, and one of the things that we're trying to do is to educate the community on the impact that we have, much like you, not only just from a quality of life perspective, but an economic impact, because I don't think people really understand the economic impact that Parks and Recreation has on a community. And you mentioned briefly tournaments. We know that we had 1.4 million visits to our parks last year, and a huge percentage of that was based around tournaments and what was happening at the parks that you mentioned. And that represents nearly 500,000 unique individuals. And so if you look at the population of Mooresville, which is just under 60,000, right? Mm-hmm. Well, then you have another 200 and some odd thousand people that are visiting here. And so that economic impact is extremely important. That's one thing we're trying to capture. So,
Yeah, and just so you know, like that economic impact for the calendar year 24 was over $4 million from sports tournaments.
Wow.
And that's significant. And I think that's only a partial report.
Yeah, so. I think you don't, sometimes see that, especially living here, you kind of don't see that side of things that we are this tourism destination. So, all right, well, we're going to talk more with Visit Mooresville when we get back from the break here on iHeart Mooresville.
We'll be right back with more iHeart Mooresville on 105.9 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Well, returning to more typical early April weather for our Tuesday. Sunshine coming back, a dry day of weather, and temperatures a little bit cooler. Will only warm up into the low 70s for the afternoon. Staying dry with a few extra clouds for our Wednesday. Again, temperatures right around 70. We're going to warm things up a bit more as we go into the later part of the week, even approaching the mid-80s by Thursday and Friday afternoons. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Hi, This is Bob McIntosh with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Since 1997, we have been committed to providing our clients with competent, caring, and experienced legal services. Learn more at McIntoshLawFirm.com.
Need a ride? iCats has you covered. Tuesdays to the VA in Salisbury, Thursday to Winston-Salem, and Fridays to Hickory. Plus, run errands every day around Iredell County for just $1. Visit rideicats.com.
Keep the winter temperatures outside with propane heat from G&B Energy. We're your local providers for cost-effective propane to heat your water, warm your home, and cook your meals, even if the power goes out. For a limited time, take advantage of rebates, like up to $350 in savings on select Cozy Heat fireplaces, up to $400 on select furnaces, and tankless water heaters starting at only $295. Visit gbenergy.com to learn more. G&B Energy, family-owned and North Carolina grown.
Exciting news at Randy Marion Ford Lincoln in Statesville. We have opened a separate used car department. That's right, we have over 300 pre-owned vehicles on Folger Drive. That's right across the interstate from the main lot. I tell you, better to serve you with higher quality, higher quantity, king of price deals on pre-owned vehicles. Come see us today at our new location, 1011 Folger Drive, right across the interstate from the main showroom. You can't miss us. And as always, king of price, king of deals, you can't beat Randy Marion in Statesville.
Tilly Harley-Davidson is simply the best, and their service department is second to none. Right now, 1K, 5K, and 10K M8 service is only $351.25 plus tax, including Sin 3 and heavy gear oil. Stop by to schedule your next service or online at TillyHD.com. Be road ready with Tilly of Statesville.
Kane Center for the Arts. We're more than a venue. We're the heart of creativity in the Lake Norman region, bringing exceptional visual arts, performing arts, and unforgettable gallery experiences to our community. Discover the difference. kanearts.org.
It ain't easy being number one, but we make it look good.
WSIC.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. European vacationers have long been a mainstay for the U.S. tourism business, but right now travel from Europe to the States appears to be falling. The head of Accor, which owns 45 hotel brands in the U.S., tells Bloomberg that advanced summer travel bookings from Europe are down 25% from this point last year. He says reasons appear to include fear following accounts of European travelers getting detained at the U.S. border. Europeans are booking trips to Canada and South America instead. Wall Street is showing high trepidation the day before President Trump's threatened tariffs on multiple nations take effect. Dow losing 0.5%, S&P 500 down 0.25%, NASDAQ near break-even. As housing prices remain stubbornly high, a rising number of people are turning to multi-generational homes. The Realtors Association says a record 17% of home buyers last year intended to house members of multiple generations, which often include aging parents, young adults moving back in, and even their young children. Andrew O'Day, Bloomberg Radio.
No radio? No worries.
Just ask Alexa to play WSIC.
Call now to speak with iHeart Mooresville hosts Christine Patterson and Don Smyle at 844-STUDIO-4. It's iHeart Mooresville on WSIC.
Welcome back to iHeart Mooresville. We are having a fabulous conversation with Randy and Kaitlyn from Visit Mooresville, talking about all of the things that the Mooresville Convention and Visitor Bureau does. One of the things I want to talk about is you have two pretty awesome events coming up. So tell us about that. I guess start with the golf tournament, because I feel like that is huge news for Mooresville.
It is huge news. We will be hosting, we have a 2-year contract with the American Junior Golf Association to bring the HV3 Championship presented by Visit Mooresville to the Mooresville Golf Club in August. I don't have the dates offhand. Maybe you can.
It is August
relate.
18th through 21st.
And, this was a relationship that we were able to build up through our attendance at sports shows. And in my past, when I was in the Augusta, Georgia area, I hosted AJGA for a number of years. And they are, best in class. They host the most prestigious juniors tournament series in the country, if not the world. And So the fact that we were able to bring a tournament here, to the Mooresville Golf Club is significant, and it's something that we hope to continue for a very long time. We've developed a great working relationship with Luke Stemke, the general manager of the club. We have an amazing facility, and this is keeping in line with our desire to support, develop, or promote events that really highlight the facilities that are part of the fabric of Mooresville.
Absolutely. Well, in Mooresville Golf Course, such a beautiful location. It's great for that.
It's an award-winning golf course.
That's right.
It is open to the public, so everybody knows, everybody can attend. And you mentioned Luke and his staff, and I want to give a big shout out to Luke because they're part of the Parks and Recreation family. They do an amazing job with that facility. The town has invested heavily in that facility to upgrade it. They're going through some significant improvements right now around the tee boxes, and they'll be doing the traps in the future. So there's always improvements happening to keep that facility present and just an amazing attraction. If you haven't been out there yet, you have to go out there. If nothing else, just to sit on the patio and watch other people because it's so beautiful out there.
Yeah.
And so I would highly recommend it. I'm not a golf player. I tend to want to just drive the cart and drink a beverage and watch everybody else get frustrated.
Yeah. Well, I just want to give some context to this tournament. And the American Junior Golf Association alumni include people like Tiger Woods, Patrick Cantlay,
Who?
Bill Horschel.
Don't know these people.
But these are, very talented major golfers that are, have been part of this association, and to have that tournament in Mooresville, it's pretty
Well, as a
amazing.
big fan of the LPGA, that's the next thing we should do. We've got to get host some female tournaments at the Mooresville Golf Club.
We actually worked on that about 10 years ago. We tried to get one of those tournaments, so we'll have to circle back around on that.
Yeah, and we were with the AJGA. We were really pleased when the discussions first started rolling around. We were looking at the earliest date of hosting in 26, and we were able to find an opening, and we jumped on it, and so we'll always run in August. But these tournaments are great. I mean, this is the future of professional golf, and the level of play will be outstanding, and it's a 5-day event. They're here for a while, and so the economic impact will be significant, and just be a great opportunity to highlight our public facility.
Yeah, awesome. Well, kudos to your team for making that happen, and I can't wait to see that. Another event that you have coming up, is
Bro.
Another event you have coming up, bro.
Yeah.
I hear there's something happening at the skate park. So
Tell us about the border competition, the Race City Open.
Yes, it's the Race City Open, and this is our inaugural skate competition here in Mooresville. And just in the interest of disclosure, when I was a kid, probably from the time I was about 9 years old to the point I was about 22 years old, I was a very, very hardcore skateboarder.
That makes two of us. Yeah.
Really?
So,
we have two skateboarders
Yeah.
over here? Were you a skater?
Definitely not.
And so, the first week of my employment in Mooresville, and I'm being taken around to the facilities, and one of the first facilities that I was shown was the skateboard park. And I was dying inside. My 20-year-old self was going, really?
That's a cool park.
But it's an amazing facility, and we've been working with a group out of Tampa, Border, internationally renowned skate management group. And again, in keeping with our desire to promote local facilities and understanding that we have an amazing skateboard park, it just presented a really excellent opportunity for us. And so we made the commitment, and we've partnered with Daniel Devlin, who is the owner of Stardust Skateboard Shop downtown. Great guy. He's been so good working with us, and he's super excited about this competition, and we can't wait. We're working out a partnership with U.S. Skateboarding, which is the national governing body for Olympic skateboarding in the United States, as well as the U.S. Performance Center.
Wow.
And again, just having Border on board, they are a best-in-class world management group, and we just know the level of quality that they're going to bring to this event is going to be excellent. And we have a feeling that this could be a significant growth potential event for us.
Yeah, you mentioned Daniel. Daniel's been really instrumental in not only the development and growth of that facility. He's kind of the spokesperson for the skateboard community in and around Mooresville, and he's been super helpful. Helped design the course, and then ultimately promote it. When we had Thrasher out, and you mentioned this is the first competition event, and we had Thrasher out as an exhibition, and we had 10,000 people out. And I mean, I'm probably exaggerating just a little bit, but the point is, there is no lack of appetite for a world-class skate facility, and to see world-class athletes like the exhibition that Thrasher hosted, and to see those people performing at the Mooresville Skate Park, and know that we have people coming as far away as New York to attend this event, and it is the largest skate park in the Southeast. We're extremely proud of it. It is a destination. It is a place that people want to come. And the great thing is that you can go online and see the park at any time of day, so you can see how many people are out there, what the weather looks like, et cetera, before you ever go out there. So it's on our webpage, mooresvillerecreation.org. And we're super proud of that facility, but I can't wait for this event. You mentioned your 20-year-old self. I'm the same way, right? I go out there and I sometimes at lunch, when we used to be at One Mooresville, I'd go stand at the gate like a little kid, on the hill and watch the people and go, oh, I just want to do that again. And my body's screaming, bad idea,
No, dog.
bad idea.
That's the truth. Man. That's the truth.
No. I love that. Well, I'm super excited about this event too, because I did not get to go to the Thrasher event, but I do plan on being at the Border event. So I'm super excited about that. But you are doing, it's actually like a 2-day event.
Right.
So the Saturday is at the skate park, and then what's happening on Friday?
So Friday evening, we're doing a sort of a quick, best trick, best run sort of competition on Broad Street, right between Moore Avenue and the Center, or is it Wilson?
Moore and right between Moore and Iredell? Or is it the next block? Moore and Center. Then.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and I always get Center and Wilson confused. I'll get that. Still new mistake. But so we'll have a contest, and that'll basically run from 4 to 8 in the evening. And then the next day we'll be out at the skateboard park all day.
And the event on Friday, anyone can come and enjoy and watch and witness these amazing tricks that I could never think about pulling off. But it's open to everybody.
Yeah, it's
nice.
Just come down to Broad Street and check it out. And it's interesting with this, because it is our first skateboard competition, but I have a feeling it could be like sneaky big. And sort of like going, I hope this thing doesn't escape us.
Right.
But it is exciting to know that we're going to get this going, and we're going to be doing it for a long time as well.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything sneaky about it. I think it's going to be big. I do. I feel like the skateboard community is a group of individuals that are highly supportive of each other and of organizations and events, and they claim ownership of that place. That's their place, and certainly when you bring events like that, kudos to your team for doing that. It just validates what they're doing, and it reinforces, their love of the sport, and they get to, hang out with others who share that passion, see others that are professionally pursuing that passion. And so it can inspire kids, if nothing else, and it inspires us adults to stay off the boards, so that we don't get hurt.
Right.
But it's an amazing opportunity. I can't wait. I'll definitely be out there. So.
Awesome. Well, we only have a couple seconds left, but kind of a final shout out. How can people get in touch or learn more about Mooresville?
They can go to visitmooresville.com or head to our socials at Visit Mooresville, or come into our visitor center. We're at the exit on Langtree. So we're accessible there, can answer your questions all day.
Okay, awesome. Well, we'll be right back after the break, and you can hear how well Visit Mooresville staff do at trivia when we get back.
Stay in the know with all things Mooresville. Heart Mooresville continues next on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, returning to more typical early April weather for our Tuesday. Sunshine coming back, a dry day of weather, and temperatures a little bit cooler. Will only warm up into the low 70s for the afternoon. Staying dry with a few extra clouds for our Wednesday. Again, temperatures right around 70. We're going to warm things up a bit more as we go into the later part of the week, even approaching the mid-80s by Thursday and Friday afternoons. That's your forecast From the WSIC Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Friday night is the season opener for the Live Under the Oaks outdoor concert series at Birkdale Village in Huntersville. Grab your friends, family, and your lawn chairs as weekly music returns to the plaza each Friday through October. Red Rocks will be on site for beverages, and the Birkdale restaurants will be open for your Friday night dinner. The Walter Family Band performance, powered by Waves Entertainment, kicks off at 6 p.m. Friday at Birkdale Village in Huntersville with the season premiere of Live Under the Oaks. The 500 Club in Statesville presents a weekend full of fun. On Friday, Members Happy Hour begins at 5 p.m. Also enjoy the day with Glow Golf Loop. Saturday night at midnight, enjoy a good old-fashioned drive-in movie. Call 704-872-9990 or visit the 500 Club online for more details and enjoy your weekend at the 500 Club in Statesville. The Auto Fair, presented by Camping World, is back at Charlotte Motor Speedway Thursday through Saturday. The show brings together the car community in a celebration of their shared passion for all things automotive. Don't miss the Heritage Invitational, where iconic cars from all eras are gathered for up-close viewing. Visit charlottemotorspeedway.com for Auto Fair tickets and more information. On Saturday, come celebrate the 5th year anniversary at Lost Worlds Brewing in Cornelius. A DJ and coffee will kick off the day at 9 a.m., while live music begins at 1 p.m. Enjoy drink specials, multiple food trucks, and free admission. We'll see you Saturday at Lost Worlds Brewing in Cornelius for their 5th year anniversary party. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
MerleFest 2025, presented by Window World, returns April 24th through the 27th in Wilkesboro, North Carolina. Hear the Avett Brothers, Bonnie Raitt, The Dead South, Watch House, Wyatt Flores, I'm With Her, Leftover Salmon, The War and Treaty, The Steel Drivers, and many more. For tickets, visit merlefest.org.
I Heart Mooresville. Ooh, we should put that on a t-shirt. Sorry, New York. 105.9, 100.7, WSIC. Local starts here.
All right, welcome back to Heart Mooresville and WSIC. I'm your host, Don Smyle, along with Christine Patterson, and we have had an amazing conversation with our friends from the Convention and Visitors Bureau. And now we're going to end with a game. It's a trivia game, a local trivia game. So, are you guys ready to play a game with us? Hope so. All right. So what we're going to do is going to ask a question. Either one of you can just buzz in and answer. Probably the best way.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We don't have actual buzzers, so just slam the table.
There you go. All right. So, since we were talking about the golf course and this amazing AGAG event that you're bringing, AJGA event that you're bringing, first question is, the Mooresville Golf Course, which will host the HB3 Foundation Junior Championship, what year was the course built? The original course.
That's a Randy question.
It's a hard one. This is the hardest one, just so you know.
I'll just say 1972.
This is 84.
Okay. I wasn't born yet. 1948.
The original course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was actually a 9-hole course, and it was originally built for the staff at Burlington Mill.
And it's a Donald Ross design course.
Yeah, it is.
He is world famous golf designer.
But isn't that cool? It was like just for the mill employees.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then it opened up and it was changed to municipal golf course. But yeah, it's got an interesting history. Okay, second question. What famous carbon fiber manufacturing company based in Mooresville has worked with NASCAR, Formula One, Team USA, and even aerospace projects?
This is buzzer. Is it Debotec?
It is. Yay!
All right. Which popular Mooresville destination houses a tribute to America's military veterans and provides a gathering place for camaraderie?
Richard's Coffee Shop.
Bingo!
Good
Yay!
job.
All right.
What annual event held in Mooresville combines great food, maybe even barbecue, local brews, and live music downtown?
That would be B3, Bands, Brews, and Barbecue.
That's right.
Oh my gosh, that was too easy.
I know.
That was
Best
too
event.
easy. All right. This might be a little harder.
Yeah.
Which Starz television series was filmed on Main Street in Mooresville, was based on a book, and tells the story of a woman who moves from the East Coast to East Texas and becomes consumed by obsession, seduction, and murder?
Hunting Wives.
Woo!
Yeah.
Good job. The
All
Hunting
right.
Wives. We turned into a little town of, Maplebrook, Texas.
Mystery and murder.
That's
All
right. Okay. Before it was incorporated as a town, as the town of Mooresville on March 3rd, 1873, what was our town known as?
What was the name?
Any
Ding, ding,
guesses?
ding. All right. Moore's Siding.
Yeah, Moore Siding.
Siding.
Yes.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Moore
Moore's
Siding.
Yeah.
Yep.
SIDING.
That was what
Siding.
we were called before we were incorporated.
Okay.
All right. So this question is close to my heart. How many parks does Mooresville have?
Oh my goodness.
It's a lot.
Yeah, because then you've got to factor in the cemeteries and
We'll just say parks where people are alive. Okay. So yes, it is true. We do,
But just
we do
parks.
maintain 3 cemeteries,
For
and
the
they are
living.
considered parks. But for the purposes of exercising and enjoying parks, the answer is 17.
I was
I was
going
going
to
to say 18.
Really?
Yeah.
That's close.
So I was
Yeah,
pretty
so
close.
close,
Yeah, there's
close,
so
close,
many.
close.
But they're all
17.
so well done.
Because once you took out the cemeteries, that really kind of blew my mind. Because I was like, I don't know all the cemeteries yet. So yeah.
Okay. Mooresville's high school mascot is a fierce creature. What is it?
Blue Devils.
That's right. Good job.
Yay. All right, another one close to my heart as a former NASCAR employee. Which famous NASCAR driver attended Mooresville High School? For a short time.
Yeah.
For a short
He
time.
didn't graduate.
We'll caveat.
Junior?
Yes.
That's
Dale
right.
Earnhardt
Good
Jr.
job.
Yes, he did graduate from another school, but he did attend for a short period of time.
Yep. All right.
Excuse me, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
That's
Yes.
right.
I'm not on formal basis with
That's
him.
right.
So excuse me.
Last question. It is about our beautiful Lake Norman. Lake Norman is the largest man-made body of fresh water in North Carolina, but do you know approximately how many miles of shoreline that it has?
Even I don't.
132.
520.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Yeah.
Way off.
Wow.
I
Miles.
520 miles of shoreline. So we had to memorize. I memorized that as part of our spiel when we went to a conference one time. And the beautiful Lake Norman that has over 520 miles of beautiful shoreline. So I will know that forever.
What's the shoreline in Mooresville?
I don't know.
All right, you don't get to ask questions.
I withdraw that question. I take that back then.
500. That's amazing. I didn't.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
be curious. That's a great question, though. I would
Yeah.
be curious to know how much of that shoreline is in Mooresville.
Well,
We
yeah,
need
as part of
more.
our master plan, one of the things that the community has asked for is lake access, and I know so
Yeah.
that's something that
Yeah.
that is being looked at. So
Great
all right.
question.
Well,
Well,
yay,
good job.
That was fun. That was very
Yay.
good
That was
questions.
fun.
Good job at trivia. You guys got most of them right.
Yeah, we did.
And you learned something, right?
Absolutely.
That's the most important thing.
We did.
You learned.
We did.
All right, so let's talk about some things going on in the Parks and Rec ecosystem. One of the biggest things coming up is our 3rd annual Egg Quest. This is a nice Easter tradition. So the first egg drop happens April 12th, and it will be in all of our parks throughout Mooresville. And so this year we have doubled the egg count. There are now 240 eggs that will go out to all of the parks, 2 different drops, one April 12th, the other one on April 20th. And so you'll have plenty of opportunity to take your children out and go hunting for these golden eggs. Each one contains a voucher for a prize. So every single egg is a prize. But this year we've upped the game. The Easter Bunny, said, hey, we got to do better. So we have 2 grand prizes, and they are big prizes. So again, how this works, you go to the parks on these 2 days, April 12th, April 20th, go to any Mooresville park, and look for golden eggs. And like I said, each one contains a voucher. And inside you'll have a card. We'll tell you what to do. We ask that you limit 1 voucher per family so that everybody has an opportunity. The only caveat now is that the Parks and Recreation admin offices have moved, and the card that will be inside the egg will say the old location is 750 East Iredale Avenue. However, we are now at 2523 Charlotte Highway, so we will definitely put that information out, but just be aware.
Well, we're still there, so if anybody comes, we'll
Okay.
tell them where to go.
We appreciate you.
Also, thank you to our partners on that program,
Mhm.
Carter Bank and Visit Mooresville. I think we have some great partners that were able to help us out with those prizes.
Yeah, so and it's a fun-filled activity. It's an opportunity for everybody to go out and maybe go to parks you haven't been to, experience them. So we appreciate obviously the contributions from our partners, and we look forward to everybody going out and enjoying the parks and finding all the golden eggs. The other thing that we're really excited about is an inaugural event that's happening on April 4th. It's the first Star Party And it's actual statewide event, and it's a sky watching event basically. And so basically, it's public sky watching, and it happens all over North Carolina, from the mountains to the coast. And this year's theme for 2025 is Your Place in Space. And so this event will happen at Cornelius Road Park, open, free to the public, on April 4th from 7 to 10 p.m. And so you can come out there, and there are, individuals out there with extremely powerful telescopes where you get an opportunity to see celestial bodies you've probably never seen. And really, really cool. So we're super excited to host this event for the first time this year. Again, Cornelius Road Park, April 4th from 7 to 10 p.m. No registration required. Just come out and enjoy an evening under the stars.
Nice.
So, all right, Christine, what do you have going on?
Well, we are ending our Town Stage entertainment series at the Jovi Knox Auditorium on April 11th with the Dolly Parton Tribute Show. Super excited. It is a great Dolly show. We are sold out now. No more tickets available. But if you didn't come to one of the shows in this year's series, we'll be starting back up in November. There is not a bad seat in the house at the Jovi Knox Auditorium. It is a great location to view music. You can always get tickets and information on upcoming shows at mooresvilleevents.com. We are also kicking off our Rock the Park outdoor concert series at Liberty Park. And that'll be May, the first Friday in May. We always kick off with beach music because, come on, it's summer. It's beach music. And then we're going to have a great June show, and it's going to be Caribbean themed. So we're going to have a reggae band, have some dancers, and some good Caribbean themed food trucks. So a great night. We even have a national act coming this summer. I know, we're going to announce it soon. I can't tell you yet.
And this is part of the summer concert series?
It is.
Oh,
we're going to have a national act. So August is going to be a big blowout show. So we're super excited to announce all of that and roll out all of the info. And then we also have, from time to time, concerts and events that are not town programming, but still amazing opportunities for the public. April 4th is the Rockin' for a Reason concert. That's going to be at Liberty Park from 5 to 9 p.m. It's hosted by Pharaoh's Parenting, which is a great organization that provides resources to parents and their ultimate goal to reduce, child abuse. They are bringing Camel City Yacht Club Band, so Yacht Rock.
Love Yacht
April
Rock.
4th.
Love me some Yacht Rock.
It should be a great show. And then April 5th, the Food Truck Festivals. So starting back downtown, that's 5 to 8:30 downtown Mooresville. Of course, April 11th and 12th, the Border Skateboard Competition. You can find more information about that at visitmooresville.com. I always want to say org.
All right, and very quickly, I just want to say, too, the Egg Quest is actually facilitated by the Mooresville Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee. So I want to make sure to acknowledge their efforts, because these are individuals who volunteer their time to go out to the parks and hide all these eggs. So we really appreciate what they're doing. Yeah. I also want to let you know that both the Egg Quest and the Star Party both have event pages on Facebook.
Oh, great.
So you can go to learn more. Just go to Facebook and type in Egg Quest or Star Party, and you will have all the details there of everything that's going on for those two events. So
great. And you can go to mooresvilleevents.com to find out all of the events coming up in the area, whether they're hosted by the town or not hosted. There's a great community calendar. You can also submit events to that community calendar. If you have something that you're hosting and you want to let the public know about it, just submit that request on that community calendar at mooresvilleevents.com.
And visit Parks and Recreation at mooresvillerecreation.org.
And visit Mooresville at visitmooresville.com. Yes. We got all the web addresses.
We got all the socials.
All right. Thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you. We appreciate it greatly.
Yes, we enjoyed talking with you. All right, everyone have a great week, and we'll see you next week on iHeart Mooresville.
Serving you better than ever before. 105.